So my name is Jessica Banks, and I just took what is going to be a terminal leave of absence from the very lab that Skaz was in at MIT, the Humanoid Robotics Lab, to start a robotic furniture company. But I was asked to talk, oh geez Louise. Okay, so I was asked by Adam to talk about the brain. I don't study the brain per se, but by working with humanoid robots, it gives a unique perspective into the ways that we think, how we think we think. And so when I first actually started to be at the Humanoid Robotics Lab, I thought it would be a good idea to learn the ropes by giving the AI lab tours. And I used to start off the tours by telling that doing these, building humanoid robots was not so much about learning how to make smart machines, but about finding out how we were smart or how we thought we were intelligent. So then sometime probably around the 26th grade, I decided that it actually helped to note not so much instead how humans were dumb, but instead how we were kind of misinformed about our own abilities. So I started to accumulate these little psychophysical experiments that were kind of commonplace and that pointed out ways that we misperceive our perceptions, or rather take for granted the ease with which we collate our sensory experience. These things are really kind of relieving to me, I think, because after being surrounded by so much genius at MIT, it was nice to realize that we all shared some very core common limitations. So it wasn't so much that you might be better than I am, but at least we're the same worst at some things, I guess. Okay, so I thought it would be fun to do some of these little experiments today with you guys. And I'm not an expert in neural circuitry involved here, but I promise that these won't hurt or cause any irreparable harm unless you are particularly reliant on your empiricism or tightly wed to reality. So we can start. Okay, so let's see. Well, the first one, so visual animals have two ways of shifting their gaze. And I want you to try this little experiment. So try to look from one side of the stage to the other side without moving your head and just your eyes. Okay, so you probably have these little, okay, you don't have to look at that, do the stage thing. So you're gonna try to look from one side to the other without moving your head. And what you're doing are these little jerky eye movements called saccades, and that happens as you try to change focus. Now I want you to do the same thing, don't move your head, and follow me. Okay, so no more jerky eye movements, and this ability to track a moving object is called smooth pursuit. And so it's the same goal, right, but different tasks. So it seems that our sensory faculties are task dependent, which is really interesting to me. All right, so the next one is this thing I handed out. We're gonna look at the blind spot, which is my favorite body part, actually. So let's take this piece of paper. Now what I want you to do is cover your right eye and hold the paper up in front of you and focus your left eye on the two F's. And then start to slowly move the paper away from you until the O will disappear while the rest will remain visible. Oh, look at that, everyone's doing what I say. Wave, no, don't do that. Okay, so keep moving the paper away until the O disappears. And so you should be able to see that the O disappears while the rest remains visible. And this is evidence of your blind spot, which is the part of the visual field corresponding to a place where there's a lack of photoreceptors. This corresponds to the place where you have a lack of photoreceptors on your optic disc, on your retina, where the optic nerve passes through it. All right, so you don't see any hole, actually, just the O goes away, and the brain compensates for this lacking sensory data. So let's look at the next one. Okay, this is called the Stroop effect. The words printed in color here are differing from the color expressed by their semantic meaning. What I want you to do is try to say the color of the word. Okay, and don't read the word, say the color. You can do this out loud. So
lesson for you.
So this is a demo of interference in reaction time of doing tasks. Now, if you can go to the other side and say the colors of those words, you should have no problem unless you read Korean. These examples, I think, have really serious implications for how we think about building multi-layer systems, especially ones that liken biological processes, and also for how we evaluate success. And I also find them really relieving because in my own personal and professional endeavors, somehow the pursuit of perfection as an experiential maxim seems kind of groundless, which is comforting. So that's all. Thank you.